The Appleverse is coming sooner than you think, in a couple of months actually, and I'm so excited for this future. But I bet that you have a lot of questions, from what the Appleverse actually is to how it will differ from the metaverse, and why this will be such a big milestone for the tech space. Well, I'm going to answer all of these questions and much more. But more about the Appleverse right after this. So our office looks absolutely awesome with these Govee Christmas lighting kits. More about their Black Friday offer and up to 42% off later in the video. And now, back to the video. First of all, what is the Appleverse? Well, it is Apple's vision for a future with no screens, no iPhones, a future where you simply put Apple's mixed reality headset on, or Apple's glasses, or Apple's contact lenses in the future, and you are transported to this more enhanced version of the real world. You'll be able to place floating displays that you can then resize, move anywhere you want, and this will essentially be the ultimate productivity tool because you won't be limited by the physical displays or the physical products of today. You can also have smart tools. For example, engineers will be able to see their blueprints and projects in 3D in real time. And if you go to a different country, you'll be able to see live translations, essentially subtitles, to what the other person is saying in your own language. So instead of having the real world and the digital world separate, which is how they've been up until now, Apple wants to merge both into one single world. That is a mixed reality world. The Appleverse. The possibilities are honestly endless here. So now you're all probably wondering, how will the Appleverse differ from the metaverse, which you've all probably heard of before? Well, the metaverse, that is a general term for this virtual reality future. Also, this is the name that Meta, the company, so Facebook's new identity, uses for their own virtual reality future. So to keep it plain, metaverse is Facebook's vision of this world, whereas Appleverse is, of course, Apple's vision. And the main difference between the two is that Apple prefers augmented reality instead of virtual reality. So they want to enhance your real world, whereas Meta, they prefer virtual reality. So they want to replace your real world with just virtual spaces for video calls, meetings, games, movies, and much more. Now, Apple will allow you to do this too, but their main focus will still be augmented reality rather than virtual reality. In fact, Tim Cook even stated in some interviews that he sees augmented reality as the true future and not virtual reality. And if you take a look at what Apple has done so far in this regard, ARKit is very advanced. So that works on the iPhone and the iPad. It uses the camera to overlay virtual elements on top of the real world. And it's so advanced that you can get reflections and accurate shadows on virtual objects from the real world. That is absolutely mind-blowing, and it's going to be even more mind-blowing in the future. But of course, that to create the Appleverse, Apple will need some devices such as these. So how many Appleverse devices will Apple have? Well, based on the leaks, there are 3 devices that Apple's working on right now. So the first one is the N301. This is a mixed reality headset similar to Meta's Quest Pro. And this is said to be called Apple Reality Pro, and it will launch in 2023 with a rumored unveil in January as the earliest. So just 2 months away. Then the second is N602. This is actually the second version to the Reality Pro. It could be called Reality 1, and it will be cheaper. It will also have call capabilities and also lighter. And this is set to launch in 2024. It looks like Apple's planning to launch a new model every year, just like they're doing with the iPhone. And the third is said to be the N421, or the Apple Glasses. This will be AR focused only, something that you would wear on the streets. So this will be more oriented towards the general public, but this will launch much later, so 2025 or even later than that. And then in the far future, Apple's said to be working on contact lenses with augmented reality capabilities, but that's pretty far away, probably 10 years from now or even more than that. But more about the Appleverse right after this. So as we mentioned earlier, Govee has a super Black Friday offer with up to 42% off. Starting with the smart outdoor string lights, they have various options for effects and individually customizable bulbs for any occasion, all of which is controlled by the Govee Home app. There are 10 light modes to choose from, and the kit has a 20,000 hour lifespan while also being super energy efficient. Next, we have the Govee M1 LED strip lights, a more discreet option with 60 LEDs per meter. helping you get more control and a wider range of colors with up to 50 customizable segments. Our favorite effect has to be the Christmas lights effect, perfect for this upcoming time of the year. With our Black Friday sale, the outdoor string lights are 42% off, and the LED strip is 30% off. Perfect as a gift or Christmas decoration, so check out Govee using the link below. And now, back to the video. So okay, lots of devices incoming, but I think the main question here is, how will Apple's mixed reality headset, the Reality Pro, which is coming in 2 months, compare to Meta's Quest Pro, which just came out a few days ago? First of all, I want to mention that the Meta Quest Pro is the most expensive headset that Meta has ever released at $1,500. So this thing is not cheap. But Apple's version, so the Reality Pro, is said to be superior in a number of ways. It's said to have the M2 chip compared to the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Plus. Obviously, the M2 will be significantly more powerful, plus it will focus on augmented reality, which means that we're gonna have even higher fidelity graphics than the Quest Pro, which also focuses on VR. It is also rumored to have more cameras, for a total of 8 compared to 5 on the Meta Quest Pro, and these are said to be higher resolution as well. The ones on the Quest Pro are quite low res, and the footage is very noisy, and yeah, it honestly looks like webcam footage. The displays are also going to be much better. We're rumored to get dual 4K displays compared to the dual 1800p panels on the Quest Pro. On top of that, these are said to be OLED panels compared to just LCD. So Apple's one is clearly superior, plus it will also have a ton of other advantages, like iris scanning for authentication and payments, Wi-Fi 6E, and much more. But because of all of this, it is also said to be way more expensive at $3,000, essentially double the price of the Quest Pro. But okay, I think the real question is, what is the actual target audience? Because the Quest Pro is mostly targeted at businesses for meetings, doing engineering work. So this is primarily a mixed reality focus, but like I said, VR is doable too. And it's pretty much gonna be the same with Apple's Reality Pro headsets. And then the next models, the Reality One and the glasses, those will be oriented towards the general public. Also, the Reality Pro will be a platform for developers to start making their apps on. There will be an app store. This will of course be a new device, so it's actually gonna be quite hard for developers to make apps without owning one of these to test their games properly. So yeah, Apple's Reality Pro launching in 2023 won't be for everyone. We'll definitely get it to review and show you guys, but from my experience with the Quest Pro, I would say that my favorite part is simply being surrounded by multiple floating screens, being able to resize them, change the curvature, and the fact that they were actually very sharp, significantly sharper than on the Quest 2, still not Retina quality, but the monitors looked like 1080p panels in real life. So they were usable actually. My main issue was the battery life, which was really poor, 1 hour, the input lag when I was using the mouse, and the low resolution pass-through cameras with no HDR. So as long as Apple fixes these 3 main issues, I won't even care about all the other extra features. I just want to have my workspace with a lot of displays and not be restricted by physical monitors. And if it's good enough, I might even use it on a daily basis here at work. The thing is that Apple has an unbelievable amount of market power. They launch something and then they automatically get thousands of talented developers on board because they know that Apple has a gigantic selling potential. And I also think that Apple would integrate services into their headset. Imagine Apple Music being able to hear and maybe even see the songs around you, the lyrics, or Apple TV. Imagine being able to watch movies while being in a virtual cinema. The Quest can already do this, by the way, but of course with that LCD display and the light leakage that we get on the bottom, it's just not the best experience. Or imagine having Apple Fitness Plus and then doing AR workouts. There are a few examples of this on the Quest, but they're not that great, so I think Apple could do something amazing with this, considering the selection of trainers that they have. But the biggest one I think will be Apple Arcade, which I don't use at the moment, but I think I will definitely be using it in VR. Monthly membership to access hundreds or thousands of high-quality VR games. But let me know, what do you guys think? Are you planning on getting this new Apple Reality Pro mixed reality headset when it launches, even if the price will be $3,000, or will you simply wait for the second gen and the Apple glasses later on? I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.